Okay. Can you hear me?
Can hear.
Yes, can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, everybody can, I presume everybody can, Okay, good evening. Welcome. Welcome and welcome back. For Isa, is welcome to join us for the first time. For the others, welcome back. It's been a long while. For some of you, very long. So good that you are in this group and good that you have put in the need or at least the desire to want to learn more, at least about marriage. So hopefully today you'll be able to just understand a little bit further why we are doing this. Okay. I presume not everybody know everybody yet. So maybe each one just have a quick introduction, if possible, on your video, so that the other people can just sort of look at who you are. Don't have to go into elaborate introduction, just a short, simple introduction. We will have about 10 weeks together to get to know each other better. Okay? So on your video, so that we can see, we can see you. Okay? Okay. Anybody, just, the initiative and just on your video and just say hi.
Hi. I know everybody and everybody know me in this room, so I don't have to talk more. Okay.
Cannot hear you. You talk so fast until cannot hear you.
I say I know everybody in the room and everybody in the room know me as well, so don't have to talk too much. Give the chance to you all. Okay.
I still cannot hear you,
About you. Huh? Cannot hear me? Can hear us. Cannot, you must introduce yourself more. So can hear lah. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. Didn't see, especially Mr. Kang Jian Wei and Bill QQ. Then for Isa, William, and Steve, we actually meet every week.
Okay, Agnes.
Yeah.
Your side, Agnes, your side, the mic is not very clear. Not sure if it's because you are using your computer mic, or is it because your side the internet is lagging a bit? Not sure.
I go and take your phone. Okay. What about now?
Never mind. Move forward. Don't worry. Now we can see your face at least. So Steve, you were going to on your mic.
Huh? Can hear now?
Yes, but
Yes.
need your video. Steve, we need your video too. So at least show your face a bit lah.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I cannot see you.
Huh? Cannot see.
Where's your face? Oh, disappeared.
DC.
Just got cut off. Okay.
Steve. Hi, I'm Steve. Long time no see, everybody.
Okay. Next.
Hello. I'm Jian Wei. Everyone, hello. Jian Wei.
Okay.
Hello. QQ here. I think most of you all should know me by now. should know me, but.
But your introduction not like that one, ma.
Ah.
My name is QQ, but I don't look cute.
Huh? What is this?
No, you're cute. Yeah.
How come QQ you open 2 account one?
Oh, one is I'm using phone
You have
because
double login,
my
you know.
yeah, I know. One is for phone, and the other one is my outside computer for recording.
Oh, okay.
I yeah I open one account for outside so that I can record the whole the whole book study lah. Then later on I can post it in
Okay.
the YouTube.
Good. Thanks for your
Mm.
initiative. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Next.
Okay. Isa and William.
You all muted already.
Hello, my name is Isa. I think I know you guys and you guys know me.
Cannot copy one.
Can I like to follow you what?
Cannot see William face also can see half only.
I can't see my face. Okay.
Hello.
Okay lah.
Okay lah. Let's start. We will try to finish by 11. Every time we will try to finish by 11. Okay. And so I will straight go into intro first. So let me just present my slide.
Okay. Then when you drive safe. And
Can see the slide or not? Oops.
Cannot.
Wait. Why? It's not going in. Wait. Not sure why. Okay. Now you should be able to see. Okay. Now can see the slide?
Can see.
Okay. Let's go in. I will start already. Straight away go in. First thing is why? Why this topic? You probably have your own reason why you have chosen this book study as well. Some of you, after just seeing the topic, when I post up the topic, some of you straight away respond already. So I'm sure in your own way, you see this topic as important. Okay, but I'm going to go through some of the other reasons I find important. I'm not going to ask you to share for 2 reasons. One, well, I think throughout later on in the training you can share lah, but I'm not going to require you to share now because time factor. But however, please take initiative to share when you see fit lah. Okay. What I'm going to go through is just quickly why I feel this topic is so important. Okay, why this marriage topic is important. Now, realize this in our world today, in our life today, we are in the education generation, the education age or information age, education age. Now everybody consider education as important. Why? Very simple, to equip ourselves to be more effective. Right? Think about it. For all of us, I'm sure, all of us, we have spent at least 15 years. At least 15 years in primary school, at least 5 to 7 years in secondary school, and then tertiary education, at least another 3 to 4 years. So you're looking at easily 15 years, maybe even more for some of you. Agnes, you are even continuing to study, so you're looking at 18 years of education. Now, what is this education? You spend 18 years to equip yourself to be effective in a career, correct? Now think about it. All the time we are studying about what? We're studying about science, academic subject. All the academic subject, what is the purpose of the academic subject? Basically, the main purpose is to equip us to be effective in our career. Correct? So that in our career, whatever role we want to take up, maybe as an accountant, maybe as a education teacher, maybe as a manager, maybe as a doctor, we can be better or more skillful in our work. Even for Steve, you have spent a lot of time studying music, right? But interesting enough, how much time have we spent to equip ourselves to be a husband or a wife, to be a father or a mother? Is our role as a father or a mother, is our role as a husband and or a wife so much less important than our role in our career, in our role in our workplace? Yet, think about it, yet more than half of our life for most of us is in a marriage environment or is in a family environment. In other words, for most of us, may not be all, for most of us, we spend more time of our life, more than half of our life, as a husband or a wife, as a father or a mother. Yet, we have no certification or qualification we can study or we would study to equip ourselves to be better at that. Now, I wonder if that is the reason why marriage becomes so difficult, fatherhood and motherhood become so difficult, because we are not equipped. We are not trained. We don't go through education. Ask ourselves, how many people have you seen, married couple have you seen, have spent enough time to prepare themselves, to educate themselves, to be a husband or a wife, to be a father or a mother, even though we know that they may spend more than half of their lifetime living out, requiring to practice that role as a husband or a wife? Then would it be any wonder why there is so much problem in marriage life as a father or a mother, as a husband or a wife, simply because we were not educated and we were not equipped to be effective at it? I mean, if I look back at my own life as a personal testimony, I have none. And for most of us, we get married simply because, we have been courting for so long already, and we have this desire to move further in the relationship, and it's natural then to move, if we want to move further, is to get married. Yet, we were not educated what marriage is about. So when I look back at myself, how I wish I had gone through this program that I'm starting, which is the reason why I'm starting this program. So that you don't have to suffer as much as I do. So you don't have to make as much mistakes as I did. So you have a chance to do it better. And why wouldn't you if you're educated? It's the same thing, right? Would one who have been through classes as an accountant end up to be a better accountant than one who didn't attend class as an accountant? Definitely. Once you have gone through, you have a chance to be better because you have been given the knowledge of what it means and how to do it better. So the lack of this qualification for marriage, qualification or training or education to be a husband or a wife, to be a father or a mother. Well, let's look at marriage first. To be a husband or a wife, because for most cases, though the world today, there are fatherhood and motherhood without marriage, which will have problems, but we will have to talk about that. Okay, but now in the world today, that option is available for most common natural course of life. Marriage, husband and wife, precedes fatherhood and motherhood. So to be a better father or a mother, or to develop a better environment for your children, you must first develop a better marriage. A better marriage is the foundation to better home, to a better family. The lack of education, the lack of time spent to educate ourselves in this, could this be the cause of this? Now, this is what I found in online. Department of Statistics Malaysia, marriage and divorce. Number of marriages, if you look at the left-hand side, the pink color, that is the number of marriage, 2016, 2017. Now, you look on the right-hand side, that's the number of divorce. And if you look, 200,000, roughly 200,000 of marriages a year. Roughly 50,000 of divorce a year. That is 25%. 25% of the year's marriages later in life ends in divorce. That means in this class, if I were to count in context of these statistics, 1 in 4, This class got how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people. 1 in 4 means 2. Based on statistics, 2 in this class will end up in divorce. Would you like to be the one? I don't think we want. Now, this did not include problems in marriage. We're talking about divorce. And in Malaysia, divorce is still not quite acceptable in certain races. Okay, so some marriages continue to be so despite the problems in it. Let's look at other statistics now. Marriage, divorce. This is 2018. This is the latest I found. 206,000 marriages in 2018, 50,000 plus divorce in 2018. That's still 1 in 4. Let's look at other countries. Okay, I go and this one is no, never mind. This one, yeah. This is about the age, roughly the age in which divorce happened. Marriage. If I look at this, the bottom half, very interesting actually. The bottom half, it's worthwhile for us to be aware of. Average age of marriage for male is 29, for female is 26. Average age of divorce for male is 37, for female is 34. Now, if you look at it, on average, 8 years down the road, divorce happened. On average, we are talking about on average. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's forget this. Okay.
Hey, sir, can you go back to the slide?
Previous slide.
The one street age one.
This one.
Yeah, the
This
top
one.
one is what? The top one 6.5, 7.5. The one is 1.
Okay. Marriage rate. That means 40 out of 1,000 male. Right? Out of 1,000 male, 47 male per year will get married. Out of 1,000 female, 44 female will get married. That's what it means.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Now, if you look at the right side, out of 1,000 married male, 6 will divorce. Out of 1,000 married female, 7 will get divorced. Now, of course, this is not very, very accurate. Why? Because some married twice, divorced twice, right? Yeah. And this does not include the problem in marriage that exists. And I'm sure in Malaysia, especially in our Asian country, a lot of toleration. In other words, a lot of marriage continue to stay married, but they do not live well, happily together as a married couple. They don't divorce simply because, like a lot of people will say, I don't want to divorce simply because for the children's sake. So they stay married. Divorce is still very hard on children. Okay? And I have seen a lot of cases where adultery or mistress thing quite frequent in Penang, especially. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Oh yeah. If any question, please do stop me. Don't. If you are not sure how to do it, you just ask William to ask on your behalf. Okay, Isa? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this one I'm not going to go through lah. Now, the highest number of marriage, the age group. This is about the age group for the highest number of marriage. Okay. Yeah. And then the highest number of divorce age group. Notice the age of divorce, highest number is between 30 to 34, which is about 8 years after the highest number of marriage. Okay, this is something for you to become aware of. Also interesting is that you look at the way the graph is shaped. Okay, yeah. For divorce, it's wider. meaning there are people who divorce after 1 year all the way to divorce after 8 years. But very interesting, if you look at it, for those who are able to survive 10 years, your likelihood of divorce is very low. Okay? For Asia, for Malaysia. So you can say is that you have to, when you get married, you have to really plan and determine to last more than 10 years, if you can. Okay. Singapore. Very interesting. Singapore. Yep.
You know why 8 years or not?
You know why what?
You know why 8 years married divorce or not?
Why? I'm not sure.
There is one
this one
Chinese
I'm not sure.
saying, 7年之痒. Means after 7 years they got tired already. That's why number 8 years they divorce. There's this saying one, 7年之痒. 7 years. How to say? I don't know how to say. Okay, just talk.
7 years each.
Okay, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. Sometimes this idiom have basis. Have some basis to it. Maybe. Maybe. Worthwhile.
7 years? So strange.
Agnes, your mic got a lot of problem.
Hello?
Yeah, can hear me still? Maybe,
Yes, can hear you.
Agnes, you learn to type. Yeah, Agnes, learn to type. Since your mic got interference, a lot of interference. Yeah. Okay. For Singapore, the statistics, something interesting. You see the marriage. 2018, 27,000 get married. 2019, 25,000. So it looks like in Singapore, which is more of a more developed country, it seems that more people are disillusioned with marriage. Okay? And yet, if you look at divorce, it's gone up. 2018 is 7,003, 2019 is 7,006. Less marriages, but more divorce in Singapore. And if you count, it's almost the same, 1 in 4. Okay? About one, slightly higher than 1 in 4. Okay? Slightly more than 1 in 4. So again, largest, couples married between 5 to 9 years have the highest level of divorce. Then again, similar to Malaysia. That means the people married after 5 to 9 years, their divorce rate become higher. America is worse. Why America is worse? Because divorce is so acceptable. Divorce and remarry is so acceptable that the statistic stands at about 50%. Crazy, you know? 50%. That means 1 in 2 marriages end up in divorce in America. This is bad. Now, why look at America? Because very often a lot of the major influence comes from cultural influence is from America. So I won't be surprised in Asia, our statistics will move closer and closer to 150%, even though at this point it's about 25%. Won't be surprised. Okay. So why study this topic? Well, one of the reasons becomes very clear. Okay, why is this topic important? Becomes very clear. I think none of us would like to get married and overlook the danger of divorce. Nobody, in other words, what I'm trying to say is nobody want to get married to get divorced. And the thing is, most people get married never anticipate divorce. The emotion, the romance is so strong. The desire during the period of romance is so strong that you are so positive that you are so optimistic about marriage. But yet, we need to be realistic. Okay? We must be realistic, not blindly optimistic. And so we must do whatever necessary, right, to ensure. Looking at the statistics and adding on to what I've said just now about the fact that there is no education, there is not much effort put into equipping ourselves towards marriage. And in today's world, which has so much distraction and so much problem, the more we need to do whatever we can to equip ourselves to reduce the possibility of divorce. Now, let me also say this. Does that mean that if you're only planning to get married, then only you start to equip yourself to on marriage? No. In fact, I'm glad that QQ joined. The only one who is still purely single. Okay, everybody else is married or contemplating marriage. Why I say it is important in this case, and I'm glad in this case why QQ joined. Think about it. Your education for career did not start 2-3 years before you get married, before you go out to work. Your education start at 7 years old. You start with the basics, ABCs of career. So, the earlier you equip yourself, the more you have a chance to develop and prepare yourself for the problems that may arise in marriage. So why not? Actually, it's a better advantage. There is greater advantage to equip yourself before. And not only that, think about it. It may even be better if you know what marriage is, so that you, in pursuing a courtship, you are already clear-minded enough to know what kind of partner may be most suitable for you in a marriage. So it also helps you in your courtship. Okay? So in other words, it prepares you when you start chasing after somebody in a courtship. So when you know what you are after in a marriage, then you also know what kind of what kind of qualities you would prefer in the opposite sex to whom you would like as in a marriage partner. You see, most of us Okay, let's read this. Most of us can fully identify with this. To be loved but not known is comforting but superficial. To be known and not loved is our greatest fear. But to be fully known and truly loved is a lot like being loved by God. I think all of us, this is what we are after. And without a doubt, we deep down inside us, we believe that in marriage, we hope to accomplish this. We hope to have this. We hope to experience this. We hope to be fully known and truly loved. In other words, marriage is the deepest relationship where we can be fully known and truly loved. What other relationship can we expect to be fully known and be truly loved apart from marriage? Now, I'm not saying it's not possible for any other relationship to be fully known and truly loved. But all I'm saying is, I think we expect more in marriage. And we all expect that marriage would provide this for us. And we would not look for anything else or expect other form of relationship to be able to provide that much for us. So isn't it this kind of marriage that we are after? And that's why we want to have marriage? Right? I mean, to be honest, when I think about my marriage, when I go into marriage, yeah, this is what I hope for. And I'm sure this is what you hope for as well, all of you. Even as a single, our consideration for marriage or our consideration for courtship, this is also what we are hoping for. If this is what we are hoping for, would we not want to do whatever, equip ourselves in whatever way possible to be able to enter a marriage where we can find and experience this? Where we are able to experience fully known and truly loved? And will it not help us to have a better chance of experiencing this than if we just leave it to by default? And yet, to be honest, a lot of marriages are by default. Never consider what marriage is like, what is required in marriage, what you need to do in marriage, and yet they're already married. Marriage, even the best marriages are tough. And this is something we need to. And not only that, let me be honest with you, as one who have been through marriage and went through really difficult time. Marriage is through it after the honeymoon year. Okay. Great sex, intimacy, the kind where we can be so close, physically so close to somebody else, friendship, somebody who can be fully known and fully loved. The truth is that marriage at the start is an empty box. You must put something in before you can take anything out. There is no love in marriage. Love is in people, and people put love into marriage. There is no romance in marriage. People have to infuse romance into their marriage. A couple must learn the art and form the habit of giving, loving, serving, praising, of keeping the box full. If you take out more than you put in, the box will be empty. That's why this class, a couple must learn what marriage is and how to develop a healthy marriage until it's a habit. It's a daily habit. Because you are no longer, once you're married, you're no longer supposed to live a single's life. And so you have to develop a totally new habit. After a 20-year single habit, now you have to start developing a new couple habit, which is totally different. And that's why you learn it now, so that you can go in prepared of what it is and what you need to do. And that's why we are studying this book, The Meaning of Marriage. And this is what we will be looking at, the topics we'll be looking at. Okay? Now, notice there are names there. We will deal with the names later. Who will be leading the book? Okay, any questions so far? Why we are studying this book?
No question.
Okay. I'm going to go through what I can gather from the introduction of this book. Okay. A bit more about the book and its author. But I like the quote from this chapter. God, the best maker of all marriages, combine your heart in one. This is a poem, a part of a poem written by William Shakespeare. Okay, in his story of Henry V. God, the maker of all marriages, combine your heart in one. Now, this book, when Timothy Keller and Kathy Keller, Timothy and Kathy are husband and wife. When he wrote this book for married people. Okay. They have also found marriage hard. That's why they realized that it helps, after they have gone through the experience, it helps to write down their experiences to help other married couple. So their marriage, Timothy and Kathy, right? They went through it, and then now they would like to help other people with it. Now, why are they reliable? Why their book? Why do I want to look at this book written by Timothy and Kathy? There are three reasons. Three reasons why this book is a better book. First book is this. First reason is this. One, they have survived 37 years of marriage. So they have 37 years of experience how to maintain a marriage. So the 37 years experience is definitely much more helpful for those who are young. Okay, how they can avoid the mistakes they have made that can be harmful to their marriage. So one reason why this is a good book is because of the experience Tim and Kathy has. Second, this book, they wrote it not only for married people, but they also writing it for unmarried people. Why? The primary goal of this book is to help single people stop destructively over-desiring marriage or destructively dismissing marriage altogether. In other words, Timothy Keller found that a lot of people desire marriage for the wrong reason. Or some people avoiding marriage for the wrong reason. Either they overly want marriage or overly avoid marriage. Those who have over desire of marriage will and enter marriage for the wrong reason will encounter more problems. Okay, they will get disillusioned because they want something that marriage. Those who avoid marriage will end up losing one of the greatest experience of life, of what marriage can offer. So that is the reason why Timothy Keller wrote this book, to help them, right, to desire marriage for the right reason. Now, the interesting thing about Timothy Keller in writing this book is that he has many experience on helping young people, single people. Why? Because he was a pastor to a church with a lot of young single adults. And during his pastoral ministry, his pastoral work, he has counseled thousands of single adults. Single people today need a brutally realistic and yet glorious vision of what marriage is and can be. So they need to understand marriage correctly. Okay, avoiding desiring something that is not healthy, and yet having the right vision of what marriage, the wonderful things that marriage can offer. So this book, that's why in YMAT, I also try to invite more singles to attend. But of course, quite naturally in our mindset, we think that, oh, I also don't even have a relationship yet. Why bother? Quite common. Okay, so which is why ended up majority in this class are married or contemplating marriage. Now, third thing, very important. The basis of his book is on the Bible. Why? Because he believed that marriage is God's idea. So this is a Bible-based marriage book to help each other have a better idea of who he or she should consider as a prospective mate. God designed marriage. So if God designed marriage, who would know the blueprint of marriage better than God? And in this case, Tim and Kathy also are quite suitable candidate to teach us because they are scholars on the Bible. They have spent years as a theological student studying the Bible. And in this case, they spend focusing on biblical teaching on sex, gender, and marriage. So, which is why subsequently after that, they became pastors, right? And help counsel single adults about marriage. So not only are they students of the Bible on marriage, but they have applied their knowledge in their own personal marriage, in pastoral counseling in the church, and then 37 years experience as a married couple and years as a marriage counselor in the church. Now, coming out with this book to help us as well. In the Bible, you have teaching that has been tested by millions of people over centuries in multiple cultures. Do we have any other resources on marriage like that? What resource can we find better than the Bible, which over 2,000 years
Oh, eh? Wait I think he busy layout.
Okay, can you all hear me again? Sorry for the interruption.
Yes.
Just got cut off by internet. Yeah,
Yes,
internet. My internet
can
got
hear
cut.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the basis of our study. Okay. Now, what the Bible have said about marriage? According to the Bible, God is the one who designed marriage. Okay, God is the one who designed marriage to reflect his love for us. In other words, the love that a marriage couple can have. Actually, Bible talks about the marriage between us and God, or us and Jesus, like a marriage couple. So the kind of relationship that two persons can have, right, is also a display of the kind of relationship that we can have with God. So, in other words, what level, what depth of relationship do we want to have? So, marriage is a good place to learn it. God also designed marriage to refine our character. It's a place where we really learn to grow as a person so that we can be fully known and truly loved. To be truly loved means we also are able to truly love another. Right? For a marriage couple, to be truly loved means the other person can love me, but also imply that I truly can love the other person. So to be able to truly love implies the kind of person you have become. 3 is also not only about the two person who is in love. is about the family for nurturing the next generation. So God designed marriage to create a stable human community for the birth and nurture of children. Marriage is the environment for procreation and for the nurturing of the next generation. Marriage is a powerful place for growing a powerful, effective next generation. So, which is why it is so important for marriage to be good and effective. And for marriage, God designed marriage to accomplish all this by bringing complementary sexes into an enduring whole life union. Why is this number 4? Very simple. Today's world, scary, yeah? We have same-sex marriages, right? Which is scary. I don't know how a same-sex marriage, woman married woman, to create a home for their children, where the children is going to learn what manhood is all about. Or man marrying man, where the children is ever going to learn what womanhood really is all about. And yet, in the US especially, I don't know about other countries, they have already legalized same-sex marriages. It's ridiculous. I don't know what kind of next generation they are going to develop. You're going to nurture children into adults that have no idea about the difference of the sexuality of male and female, and the differences and the importance of the role played by each sexuality. Both are equally important. Well, I wouldn't say equally. Equally implies that they're equally in their role. No. Union. Okay. So the whole study will be focused mainly from this passage in the Bible, Ephesians 5:18-33. In other words, most of it we will refer to this chapter in the Bible. So if you have a Bible, maybe you can start reading it. There will be reference to others, but this is the main focus. Okay, all the reference will start from here, and then they will use other part of the Bible to explain. Okay, I'm not going to go through it. So if you have a chance, go home, spend a little bit of time to read it. Okay? Okay, any question? This is what this book is about, why this book, and what it hopes to accomplish. So at the end of your study here, hopefully it will equip you a little bit better, whether you are married or planning to get married or totally single. It will equip you. It will build a better mindset in you that will equip you to be more ready and to be more effective in your relationship and in your future marriage. Okay? Okay, any question? You have 15 minutes before time's up.
No question from me.
Okay, so everybody's still quiet, so I assume not much question. Okay, one thing I will now explain about my approach. You see, one of the things that I have learned as an educator for 20 years now, or actually more than 20 years, for 30 years now. I was involved in education for 30 years, correct? With my 30 years of education, I've learned one thing, okay? That is, the best learning is teaching. The best learning is teaching. What do I mean? Very simple. You see, education today is not. All the students sit in the class waiting for the teacher to teach. And whenever the teacher teach, the student do minimum. In other words, they pay attention only because they have to pay attention. Now, when they only have to pay attention, what will happen is absorption will be minimum. In other words, they will try to know only what they need to know. That is not going to really help you to learn well. So, based on my experience, which is why in YMAT, one of the program I've started is this kind of book study. The kind of book study where, no, I'm not the teacher. You are. Why? Because when you are the teacher, you learn much more. Why do you learn much more? In order to teach, you have to understand what you are teaching. And when you understand what you are to teach, and when you understand in a way you can explain, then you can also understand in the way you can apply. If you can't understand in a way that you can explain, then likely you're not going to apply. Even if you can understand in the way that you can explain, there is no guarantee that you will apply well. Much less a person who just sits there and listen and only absorb what they have to absorb, and their understanding is very minimum. Then their application may be negligible. So, for the book study in this case, for chapter 1 to 8, I have made it a rule. I will not lead any of these 8 chapters. Okay? Because the 8 chapter content is the most important. When one person is leading, of course, that person will learn the most for the chapter. The chapter you are leading, you definitely learn the most. Those of you who have been through all my classes, I'm sure you can remember most the chapter you have led. Okay? So as such, for the book, there are 3 more chapters that need a leader. Chapter 1, Chapter 5, and Chapter 7. Now, there's a slight difference why I look at this plan of the book. You notice I draw a dotted line in the middle. The first 4 chapters explains the fundamental meaning of marriage. What marriage is, where the power comes from, what is the purpose, what goal does it has, okay? Then the next 4 chapters is the practical, okay? Marriage involves somebody else. So how do you love the somebody else whom you don't know? You are learning to know. And then how are you going to embrace the difference in the somebody else? Okay? And what's the difference between singleness and marriage? And the relationship between singleness and marriage, and then the relationship between sex and marriage. All these are the practical living of marriage. So that's a slight difference. One is explaining the deeper meaning. The other one is explaining the practical aspect. So that's all for me today. So now, notice chapter 1, nobody yet. Now, whoever take up chapter 1,
Already got, just now
you
already
have
got.
the freedom. Or who are? Or somebody have who?
Isa.
Oh wow, Isa, thank you very much. Good. Now, Isa, I'm gonna give you a special allowance.
Okay. What's that?
Okay. Now I'm not sure if 1 week is enough for you to prepare the chapter.
Uh-huh.
If it's not enough, I
Uh-huh.
give you the freedom to postpone 1 week.
Okay.
So meaning if you read the chapter already, you feel that wow, quite heavy, then you can request for a postponement, which means next week we will meet just to have a social gathering, chit chat, maybe share a little bit about our desire, why we want to learn, why we want to study this book, right? But if you are ready, you can go ahead and lead. But if you are not ready, you can postpone 1 week.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay?
Okay, thanks, sir.
But you must let us know. You must let us know at least 2 days before.
Sure.
That means by Saturday, you must post up and say, "Oh, I want to request for postponement."
Okay.
Okay, that?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Thanks,
Yeah, good. Thank you. Now, also a little bit of explanation of how you lead. Don't share everything in the chapter. That's not what you need to do. Summarize and share the important lesson in the chapter. Okay? Why? Very simple. When you go through everything in the chapter, right? For people who have read the chapter, it becomes very boring. Okay? You go through everything that I already read. First thing. Second thing, if you go through in the chapter, it becomes very long and people cannot concentrate. And at the end, you miss it. The idea is that everybody should have read the chapter. But after you have read the chapter, different people will observe different things that is important in the chapter. Okay, that's why the important summary. The summary is what you see as important in the chapter. And then during that period, other people will also share. Oh, I saw this instead. Okay? So you do not have to. And so, which is why you try to summarize the chapter to try to fit about 1 hour, 15 minutes lesson. Okay? That goes for everybody, same thing. Okay, now looking at the outline, Isa have taken chapter 1. Chapter 7, QQ have taken chapter 7. Nobody have taken chapter 5. I would like to have another volunteer. QQ have taken 2 chapters. I would like to volunteer either Agnes or Steve.
I might, Agnes, Steve, I might. If no one take, I take also can, never mind.
But I think I cannot promise because yeah.
Agnes or Steve or Agnes and Steve?
No.
Huh? Jen Wei, you sure or not?
Can. Yeah,
I try lah. Actually, I just I listen. Ayo, this book is very cheap, first. Then second, I think I never try really want to focus
Right,
using
it is. That's why.
using this one. Ayo, just how you say, My brain, I think maybe too long didn't observe already. I was very slow. I need very slow motion. Gao la.
That's why you break too long. That's why I didn't ask you to take another chapter. That's the reason why. Whereas Steve and Agnes can work together. Okay. I know Agnes is busy with her MBA. So Steve, I don't know whether you can cope. Oh, Steve means 2 chapters in a row. Wow, very jalat. Unless somebody swap law, which okay, I'm going to leave it open. Okay, for anybody to volunteer. Yet I understand the difficulty, but yet I would also like to open and encourage you all to take up the challenge. Okay, I can guarantee you it is great training. It trains you. It trains you. My ability to observe and summarize as well as to explain a lot definitely came from the responsibility and the obligation I have committed myself to long time ago, the burden I've committed myself to long time ago to lead book study and to teach, to honestly tell you. Why? Because when you have to teach, no choice. Why? No, not only do you have to understand the chapter, you have to understand well enough to explain so that other people can understand. So when you can do that, your understanding of the chapter is very, very deep, and your observation become very sharp. Okay, yeah, and this is some skill I definitely encourage all of you to take up, to develop, even though it is a burden. To honestly tell you, it's a burden. It's a big burden. Okay, it's a burden now for me for the past 9 years under YMAC. Okay, all the training and book study I have done. For some of you, you already know from the first book, As We Think So We Are, 7 Habits Highly Effective People, and on it goes. Okay, and on, mind you, even when you are leading the chapter, I also read the chapter and I also summarize every chapter. Okay? It would have been easier if I just lead the book, but then it won't be the most effective, which is why I refuse to lead the book. Because I am more concerned about effectiveness than about going through the book. Okay. I think enough explanation on my part. Okay. Perfect timing. It is about 5 minutes to 11. Okay. I will just leave it open lah. Okay. Any question? Any comment? During the week, when you are reading the book or preparing the study, if you have any question, feel free to contact me. Okay? Yeah.
No question.
Okay?
Okay, no question.
Okay, good. I think that's all. So, Isa, just
Yes.
check through the chapter
Yeah.
and then let us know if you're ready by next Monday, 9:30.
All right.
Oh, yes, before I forget, QQ, can
Yes.
you be the administrator for this group?
Okay, sure. I'll do that.
Main thing is 2 things only. 1, the link, and 2, the recording.
Okay. Yeah, I think should be fine. I can do
Okay.
that. Payment is under Jilly.
Payment. Yeah. Payment. Now, I will just post up the Ginny's email. No, whenever Ginny's
I can do that
message in the.
I can do that.
Oh, okay,
I got the message ma. I mean the willful blindness ma. She every week also post up the account, her own account number one ma.
Okay. QQ. I'll leave that to you also lah. Okay. If you need any help, just let me know lah.
Okay.
Okay. I think if with that, any question, please let me know. Otherwise, again, thank you very much. I'm very happy and I'm very glad that you all have taken the initiative to join. And I know the way that we are doing it is tough, but I really want to assure you, you will reap the reward of this burden that you have undertaken. Okay. With that, good night, everybody. Take care of yourself. Please continue to stay safe. The virus is quite strong, quite bad in Penang. So continue to take care lah, huh?
Okay, thank you. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Sir. Good night.
Okay, good
All right.
night. Thank you.
Okay,
And
good night.
night.